And welcome to round 12 of the Thursday Night GT Championship, also known as the TNGTC by RaceDepartment on Project Cars 2 for PS4. We've had a big change. There was a new patch for Project Cars, so there was a new balance of performance. And this caused a lot of change on the grid. Almost everyone has made a change to a new car, and whereas before the most favorite cars were the Ferrari and the McLaren, well, you won't see any of those back anymore. The Audi is now the new favorite, and a couple of cars have been banned because they are too strong, even though the balance of performance should have brought the cars back together a bit more than it was. And so the banned cars are the Ferrari, the Porsche, and the Ginetta, because they were too strong. So to even the field out, they were banned. And now we have a couple of guys in Audis. We have a Mercedes. We have a couple of BMWs. And I will take you to the field while we are in the qualifying session for the feature race at Fuji Speedway. Right now we are looking at the number 43 Audi, driven by Benji, also known as Boy Racer. This is his new car. He and his teammate Adam Morris were in the McLaren before, and they made the switch to the Audi. So Benji is number 43 and Adam is number 42. And let's see who else is on track. Well, everybody is on track right now. We're headed to Ben Milden, aka Milden Man, and he is in Scubinaldo GT together with Nathan Tompkinson, and they have switched to the Lamborghini. And Ben is in the 33 Lamborghini, and Nathan is in the 78 Lamborghini. This is also the first time that we are using the director function during the live stream, so if something goes wrong, that's probably my bad. But I'll try to keep it all as clear as possible. So that's Ben in the Lamborghini. Next up is Jamie, and he was actually the only one, or the only team who were using the Audi before, but he made the switch to the Mercedes. The AMG, personally one of my favorite cars in the real GT championships. In this game, it's just it lacks power. So let's see, Jamie is in Backfoot GP together with Diogo, but I don't think he's racing tonight. Well, let's see, he is in the number 9 Mercedes. I'll have to make a note for that. number 9. Well, let's see who we have here. This is Scooby. This is Nathan, the other driver in Scooby-Nato GT, and he is in the 78 Lamborghini Huracan. And it spins out. He was on a lap. Next is in the pit. We have seen, here we have Liam. Liam is one of the 2 racers of Spam Fritters Racing, and he made the switch last race to the BMW M6, the number 44. He did quite well catching up to the McLarens and Ferraris last race, so we'll have to see what his Beamer will bring during the switch, after the switch, so how he will be against the Audis. Here is Adam Morris in the 42 Audi, so Benji's teammate for Snakes Unite Racing. I'll go through the different drivers a bit faster so we can go to the actual qualifying session. Of course, on your top left on the screen you can see the times that they did. Here we have Gaz. Gaz is very fast in every car. Made the switch to the Audi as well. The 24 Audi. Sorry, 28 Audi. And he is last season's champion, and he has been for a couple of seasons now. He has quite some competition this season in Oz, who we'll see next. He is also in the Audi. And Oz is in the number 4 Audi. Then we'll switch to Oz's teammate, which is Matt for Scapegoat Racing. And he is in the 63 Audi. Also an Audi, so where everyone was in the McLaren before, or the Ferrari, which is banned now. Most of the guys made the switch to the Audi. For now, if we just count the Audis, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Audis. So that's about half of the grid is Audi now. Here we have Jeremy White. He is also in the Audi. And he's in the number 2 Audi. It became a bit confusing because if you look at his livery and Gas, they're pretty much alike. That's the point. All the Audis look alike. This is the number 4 Audi. And then we switch to Jeremy, which is actually, well, pretty much the same. So that's going to be a bit confusing. We'll have to just look very closely to these starting numbers. And, well, so far that's everything. Oh, and Jeremy just spun out. So let's go to The standings in the qualifying session now halfway. And we are with Oz, and he has set the fastest lap for now with a 1:37.2. Very closely followed. Actually, he's almost a second faster as Gaz. Let's place the map here. Here we can see a couple of better standings. Okay, so we're on board with Gaz. Down that long straight. He improved his time, and he is now only 3/10 behind, 7/10 behind Oz. So it's still close, but Oz is for now still the fastest on track. I'm just scrolling through the options here, so I'll just have the overview. It's always good to see who you're watching, so let's go to the track side. I haven't found out what the standings and split functions will do, but we'll figure that out during the race probably. So here is Benji, currently in third. He's been doing very well over the last few seasons. When he started out, he was, well, more of a back marker than in front. But 2 seasons ago, he had his first victory, and ever since, he's been a very strong driver in the TNGTC. And now in the new Audi, in his new car, currently third on the grid, with only 8/10 behind Oz, and practically the same time as Gaz, and Gaz is very quick, so it was probably a wise decision for Benji to switch to the Audi. Here we are through the 100R, and actually there's a bit of lag. The 100R is named after the angle of the corner. So there's the 100R. That's a 100-degree turn, and that's turn 4 and 5. And after this hairpin, we're going through the 300R, which is also again the angle of that corner. There are a couple of other tracks in Japan who that use these kinds of names for corners, like the famous 130R at Suzuka, which is called not Suzuka but Sakito here in Project Cars 2, because it's not the exact same track, because they don't have the official license for it. So they changed the track slightly and called it Sakito, which is actually the Japanese pronunciation for circuit. So circuito, and that turns out to be Sakito. But back to the race, and we're watching Benji in the pits. Liam is starting a fast lap. And let's see how he does. Currently in 4th, with only just over a second behind the race leader. Or I should say the pole sitter. So here is Liam through the last few turns on this track. This last part is very technical. Final corner, Panasonic, and from here it's full throttle all the way to turn 1. And will he improve? Let's see in a couple of seconds. And no, he does not improve. He's a half a second slower than his fastest lap. Let's see how the others are doing. Here's Adam for Snakes Unite Racing. As you can see, the field is pretty close between the number 1 and the last driver, which is Jeremy in 11th. There's only 3.5 seconds. Oh, and who spun out? It's one of the Lamborghinis. That was Nathan. And that is PS Scooby, currently in 8th. With 1 minute 55 to go in this qualifying session, you can see a lot of people turning into the pits. If they go out now, they'll be too late. Oh, well, they might... No, they're too late to complete another lap. And Adam was on his out lap, is now on his fast lap to see if he can get in that top 5. Let's get on board to see how he does. The Audi, after the new patch, is very quick, but with the engine in the back, the rear end can snap out very quickly, so it's you have to drive very carefully in this car. Also an amazing car to see. Here you can see how hard it is. You can see just throwing that pedal will just spin you around, so you have to be very gentle with that throttle. Final turn, very tricky. You can see a speed 200k. fifth gear into sixth. And does he improve? Nope, it's not enough. So that will be sixth place for Adam. Still on track. Ramsey. Well, that will not get him a better time. On board with Ben Milden in the Lamborghini, going through 300R up to very tight Dunlop corners. Will he be able to get into the top four? Well, he's almost a second behind his fastest laps, so probably not. And behind him you can hear Benji, so we'll switch to Benji. Or was he in front? No, Ben is just out of view. With 50 seconds on the clock. Here we are with Ben. Nope. Benji. Nope. Not enough for a second place. So, that is it. Oz on pole with a 137.0. Behind that, Gaz in a 138.0. So that's a full second behind him. In third, Benji, 38.09. Just 500 behind Gaz. Liam in fourth. Ben in fifth. Adam in sixth. Jamie in seventh. Nathan, aka Scooby, in eighth. Killer Ramsey, ninth. Skanky, also known as Matt, 10th. And Jeremy will be last for tonight. And also ninth. In 11th place. And we had a couple of guys who couldn't make it tonight. And now we'll just have to wait. All drivers will have about 2 minutes. And from there, they can change their settings, their setups. And once they're ready, we'll start the race. So still about 2 minutes left. They have to check their pit stop settings. So tonight we have 11 drivers and 4 different cars, no, 5 different cars. A Lamborghini, Audi, BMW, Mercedes. That's it. Well, let's see what this first turn will bring. Let's show the map here. As you can see, it's not very visible. And we just lost Knight. Will he be able to join in time? I don't know. No, I think we lost him, so that's just 10 drivers left for tonight's race. It's going to be very close, especially... well, we're starting. So, let's get this. Here we go. Round 12 at Fuji. And we're off. Oz has a nice start. Keeps his pole position. And in the back we can see one of the snakes, and we have a collision. And that was Ben. He must have been, yeah, we can see his left front, excuse me, his left front headlight is out. He has damage. Something happened there. We could see Liam hitting someone else. I don't know if that was Ben. It was caught on camera. Let's go back to Oz, who is right in the lead with Adam behind him. So Adam went from from 6th to 2nd. He passed Gas. No pun intended, by the way. He is right behind. So let's see. Further down the grid, Liam is in 4th after his collision. Made it through the first turn, very tight. And we have some action. Here we have Benji and Nathan, aka Scooby, battling for 6th position. And here we have Jamie and Ben went into the pits. Let's go back to the action on track. Benji just overtook Scooby. Scooby was behind him. He was side by side with Killer Ramsey and is right on his tail through 100R. And that's a close battle for 5th. Let's get on board here with Scooby, so we can see the action from court side. And here we are going through the last turn. Benji has to hold back. Can he get a slipstream? Let's switch to Benji's sight. And he is right on his tail in the slipstream, trying to make a pass. And he passed. Oh, and there goes Scooby. Wow, what a drag he had. And back to, oh, sorry. So both Scooby and Benji passed Killer Ramsey on the straight. That's the advantage of such long straight. He went wide there. He still has quite the gap to Matt, aka Skanky. And let's switch to Gaz, who is pretty close to Adam. And already Oz is taking a lead of 4.5 seconds, 5 seconds over the straight. Very comfortable lead already after 3 laps. Here we are. This guy's close enough to get a slipstream out of Adam. Yes. So we make a move. He is right beside him on the inside. That was almost an open door for Gaz. Adam tried to switch back, is next to him, but is on the outside right now for turn 3, the Coca-Cola turn, into the 100R. Adam on the inside again. No, he is not in front of Gaz. You can hear Liam's BMW right behind Adam. Sorry for that, by the way. Going back to Scooby and Benji, who are still battling for 5th. So as you can see, the Lamborghini and the Audi are pretty close to each other in terms of performance. And it's pretty tight. If you watch the map, you can see we're watching Scooby right now, who is in 6th, and to Gaz in 2nd, and they're all close. Just one tiny mistake in, for example, this corner, and you go from 2nd to 6th or 7th. So you cannot make any mistake. Right now we're following Oz, who just passed one of the guys who pitted earlier, which is Jamie in the Mercedes. So he must have had quite the pit stop. A long one. And Ben is now entering the final turn, but he's almost a lap behind. So that was not a good start for Ben in the Lambo. Let's get back to the action. Here we are with Benji, and there must have been, no, he's just still right behind Liam. He's actually catching him and getting away from Scooby a bit. But he's too far away to get a slipstream out of Liam. Maybe we can see a difference in top speed. Audi is going 260, and yeah, it's definitely going a bit faster on the straights. The BMW, of course, a very heavy car, one of the heaviest in the GT3 cars available on Project Cars. And he's really closing in. I'm trying to see if I can switch the times next to their lap times, because we can only see the distance from to the race leader and not the gap to the guy in front. But Benji is almost within half a second. And he's slowly getting away from Scooby. And here we are with the race leader Oz, who has a ridiculous lead already. After 7 laps, he's over 10 seconds away from Gaz. And it's not that he has an advantage over Gaz because that he's in another car, because they are both driving the R8. But Oz is he's just so fast. Let's see how he does that. Through the tight Dunlop corner. Through nets. This is a very tricky corner. And all uphill. Through Panasonic. Onto the straight. And he is 11.5 seconds away as a gap to Gaz. And of course I was just saying about the gaps between drivers instead of just the gap to race leader, but what I didn't see yet was at the top at the overview, which I will turn off and on right now. Here you can see his position. So Gaz is now in second. He's 11 seconds behind Oz. And also 4 seconds ahead of Benji. And here we have a couple of pit stops by Ramsey and also Liam, who is already exiting the pit. That was a very, very early pit stop in lap 8. I don't know if that was because of damage or just a tactical pit stop. And Adam has fallen back to 5th position. So I don't know what happened there. He was spin out because he lost a lot of time. Because he is now 7 seconds behind Benji. There must have been some kind of hit between Adam and Liam, because Liam was in 4th, Adam was in 3rd, and that was just outside of the camera. It's too bad I only have one screen, because I would have caught that if I would have multiple screens. Here we are with Killer Ramsey currently in last position. He must have had a very long pit stop as well, because he is 17 seconds, 18 seconds behind Jamie. And he just spun. And he just disconnected. So there are 9 races left. You can see that Jamie has still some damage. You can see the hood of his car is a bit bent. So that will probably give him an aero disadvantage. And just spun out while being passed by, what was that? Back to further up the field, Scooby, who is 4 seconds behind, Benji 3 seconds in front of Adam. As you can see on the map, everybody is getting a bit more space, and we will see the probably first regular pit stops within 2 laps. Here's Benji coming through the final turn. Let's head back to the race leader, Oz, who's now in a almost 15-second lead over Gav. Coming up to Dunlop. Hitting the curbs just right. The hard thing about these corners is that, especially this one and the next one, is that they get tighter at the end of the turn. So here you have to turn in very early, hit a late apex, or you'll completely miss the corner. So that's pretty unique about Fuji, that they have some corners you don't really see anywhere else. Sorry. I still have a bit of a cold. That's why I didn't commentate last week, because I was coughing my lungs out. But I feel a lot better right now. So that's a good thing. And here is Benji in the pits from third, and we can see his teammate Adam getting in the pits as well. So these are the first actual regular pit stops. So he's falling back to 5th place. And Adam is on his way to the track again as well. So here we are with Skanky, currently in 4th position after the Snakes Unite boys went to the pits for new tires. Refueling is optional, but it's not very wise to do, because refueling just takes too long for the races we do. This is a 24-lap race. The only time that drivers will refuel is during the endurance races. Those are 2-hour races. And we go back to the front of the grid where both Oz and Gaz are doing their pit stops. So let's see who is the fastest out there. Here you can see some very futuristic pit crews. Oz is out and Gaz is out as well. I think that won't make a big of a change. So here we are with the first new race leader since the start of the race, and it is Scooby, currently leading after 13 laps. He still has to pit, so he will fall back to probably 5th position after he pitted. And he has a very heavy sounding car in front of him, so that's probably the Mercedes of Jamie, because there are only a few cars that sound so low. You can see that the turn gets tighter at the end, which is very tricky. And Scooby also goes into the pits. Where will he end? As you can see on the map to your right, Oz is on his way. That was a very fast one. That's probably not a very good pit stop. I don't think any tires were changed. We've seen that more often in this league. You have to manually confirm that you're going into the pits while driving, and I don't know if it's a bug or that it's just the problematic thing of driving and setting a pit stop. For now he is in 3rd, but that was a very short pit stop, so he will have to pit again. We can see Skanky is exiting the pits. Now in 8th position. We go back to the guys in front. Gaz made up about 5 seconds with his pit stop, but that won't be enough. So unless Oz will make a mistake or will handle his tires the wrong way, he probably won't be getting any closer, but we'll have to just check it out and keep an eye on the times. Here we are with Scooby, and as I predicted, he is entering the pits again. Let's see if it goes right this time. These are some very, very expensive seconds. Now, this looks like a better pit stop. As you can see, he's falling back to 7th position. He will stay in 7th. Skanky and Jamie are still behind him, so that in the end probably cost him 2 places. Let's see how the others are doing. Here we are with Liam. The M6 is also such a beautiful machine. Heavy and not the fastest out there. It's too bad that the balance of performance is a bit better, but the cars are too different in power. So there's so many GT3 cars available in Project Cars 2, but as you can see, the fastest car right now is probably the Audi, because everybody switched to the Audi. The GTR is also very fast, but a bit hard to handle in the corners. The AMG is one of the more powerful machines in the real life GT championships, but in here it just lacks pace. I mean, if we go back to Jamie, who's in last position, he's currently 13 seconds behind Scooby, but it's too bad because this is such a powerful machine. And I would have liked to see some more diversity on track. Such a shame that the McLaren it went from almost from overpowered to underpowered. So no McLarens anymore. A lot of Audis. Well, the GT is still being used a lot. I mean the AMG in current GT championships. And of course the M6, which Liam is driving, one of the newer GT3 cars around. So there should be a manner to, some way to even the score a bit more and balance of those cars. So we have tighter championships. So right now, I mean, there's a lot of gaps. Of course, there are only 9 drivers in a 24-lap race, but you can see they're all scattered around the track. Not a lot of action. This is just trying to manage your tires, try to go as fast as you can. But I doubt we'll see some heavy battles somewhere before the end of the race. Unless someone spins out, and we can see that Adam is about 3.5 seconds. Uh, 3.5 seconds behind Liam. Is he able to close the gap and try to overtake him? He still has 6 laps to go, 7. If we go a bit further back, we can see that Skanky is within 3 seconds of Scooby. So maybe we'll see some action here before the end of the race. Let's go back to Adam, who's chasing down Liam, trying to catch that 4th position. Not enough for a podium, but hey, points are points, and that's what counts in the end. He is 3 seconds away from Liam. He has more top speed. We've seen that from Benji earlier in the race. Benji was going around 260 kilometers an hour at start finish, where the BMW was going around 255. So maybe that was just a good exit. We'll see now. We'll just follow Liam, get on board with him with the exit, and push. So 200, 230, 250, almost 260. And so again, maybe Adam has some damage, but the Audi has a better straight line speed, or I should say better top speed. Oh, and he just spun. Well, this cost him place. Oh, that was a bad spin. He is still safe, but he can forget about that 4th place. And Ben just spun out in the same place. He was very close to Adam after his spin, but it's spun out himself and is now again still around 13 seconds behind Adam. And we had Skanky, who was pretty close to Scooby, but now has fallen back to about 5.5 seconds. Let's go back to the race leader. Didn't get much screen time. Well, he was in front, he was in the lead, and he still is in the lead after pit stops. About 14 seconds ahead of Gaz. He was trying to chase him down, but Oz is just too fast on this track apparently. So let's see how all the cars on track are doing. We had an Audi in pole position in first. We have an Audi in second place. We have an Audi in third. So if this is going to be the end result, we have 3 Audis on stage. If this would have been DTM, Audi would have been very pleased. And this is the first non-Audi Liam in the BMW. And here we have Adam, again Audi. Ben Milden in the Lamborghini. His teammate Scooby also in the Lamborghini. Then we have Skanky in the 63 Audi, and Jamie in the beat up AMG. It must have been a performance problem, because that AMG it's fast down the straight line. It has so much power. So we currently have 9 drivers, 4 different cars, and he gave, who was that? That was Oz lapping Jamie. So we have 9 drivers and 5 Audis. But in total, if we have a full grid with all drivers present, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 drivers. Sorry about that. Well, 2 laps to go. Oh, I just made a tiny mistake there. Through 100R, very long right-hander, followed by a very tight hairpin. And then this is the 300R, full throttle to the next tight hairpin to your right, the Dunlop corner. And here we have the tricky section. Here you can see that this turn is also getting a lot tighter at the end. And again here, going up, very tight, almost a blind corner. And let's see what Oz's top speed is, or what Oz's speed is at the start-finish line for his 23rd lap. 261. And here we are with Ben Millen in the 33 Lamborghini. 33 also, of course, the number used by Max Verstappen in Formula 1, and also used by current DTM champion Rene Rast. And Max isn't a champion yet, but he will be one day, so maybe this is the lucky number for Ben. Well, so far it hasn't brought him that much luck that he is going to win this feature race at Fuji's International Speedway. Let's get on board with him to see how the Lambo is handling. As you can see on the top of the screen, he did make some time up with Adam, because he's now only 8 seconds away from Adam, and after a spin it was about 13. And he has Scooby, his teammate, about 4 seconds behind him. And as you can see from the times to your left, that Adam must have spun again, because his last lap time was a 1:49, so he lost 9 seconds. And here we are back with Oz going through the final turn. in his final lap. And here he is, claiming victory for the feature race at Fuji. And there he is. Race winner, Oz. Followed by Gaz, who's coming up to the finish line right now. 16 seconds behind Oz. That's quite a gap. Yeah, flashing his lights. Second place, Benji. You could see him in the background already. Great race by Benji. Stayed out of trouble. Was very fast in this Audi. Here we are with Liam, 4th place. The best non-Audi driver. And here we have Milden Man, also known as Ben Milden. But most of us just call him the Old Man. And Adam, he must have spun again, because here's Adam now behind Ben. Oh, there must have been something wrong with this car, because Scooby almost caught him. And this is your usual antics at the end of the race. Here we have Skanky almost crossing the line in 8th. So Matt, 9th position. And that's it. Jamie, 9th. Sorry about that. There, had to make a screenshot from that. So, that was round 12, the feature race at Fuji International Speedway. This is the Thursday night GT Championship. Powered by RaceDepartment on Project Cars 2 for PS4. My name is Frank Finch, and we will be back for the sprint race, round 13, again here at Fuji Speedway, a 12-lap race with a reverse grid. So we'll probably see some more action in those 12 laps, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Qualifying will start in about 15 minutes, so that is 9:25. Sorry for that. So that's about 9:25, or probably 10 minutes. So 9:20 UK time, so that's the GMT, and 10:20 Central European time. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Hope to see you then. Bye.